In the heart of East Africa, where the first rays of dawn spill across a boundless horizon, lies a realm woven from the threads of time and life itself, the African savanna. Here the Serengeti unfurls in a breathtaking sweep, a living canvas stretching 12,000 square miles across northern Tanzania and southern Kenya, where the land seems to merge with the sky in an endless embrace. This is a world of contrasts, where golden grasslands ripple beneath the equatorial sun, acacia woodlands cast dappled shadows, and winding rivers carve green arteries through the earth, each habitat a vital thread in the tapestry of life. The savanna breathes with the pulse of the seasons. Clouds gather and disperse, rain falls in shimmering curtains, and the land transforms, parched and brittle one moment, lush and vibrant the next. With the arrival of the rains, the earth awakens. Seeds long dormant burst into life, painting the plains in emerald hues, and the air fills with the scent of new growth. Grazers gather, drawn by the promise of nourishment, their hooves stirring the rejuvenated soil. The Serengeti becomes a stage for a grand migration. Millions of wildebeest, zebra and antelope surge across the plains, their movements orchestrated by the invisible hand of rain and grass. Among them, giants roam, elephants stride with ancient wisdom, giraffes stretch to the treetops, and herds of zebra and antelope move in harmonious patterns, each species attuned to the rhythms of the land. Elephants, the architects of the savanna, shape the landscape as they travel, opening pathways and dispersing seeds. Giraffes, with their sweeping necks, browse the highest leaves, pruning the acacias and allowing sunlight to reach the grasses below. Predators linger at the edges, lions, cheetahs and leopards, their presence a silent force that keeps the herds vigilant and the ecosystem in balance. Each hunt, each chase, is a thread in the cycle of life and death that sustains the whole. Above, the sky is alive with birds, over 300 species, from the dazzling lilac-breasted roller to the soaring secretary bird. Their calls weave a symphony that echoes across the plains, and their wings scatter seeds, pollinate flowers, and keep insects in check. Beneath the grasses, a hidden world thrives. Insects aerate the soil, break down waste, and serve as food for countless creatures. Dung beetles roll their treasures, termites build towering mounds, and ants form living highways, each a vital cog in the machinery of life. The savanna is a mosaic of habitats: open grasslands, shaded woodlands, rocky outcrops, and dense riverine forests. Each niche offers shelter, food, and opportunity, supporting a dazzling array of life uniquely adapted to its challenges. The grasslands, vast and open, are the domain of the great herds. Here, grazers feed in unison, their movements shaping the very growth of the grasses they depend on. In the woodlands, browsers like antelope and giraffe find refuge from the sun, feeding on leaves and twigs, their presence ensuring the renewal of the trees. Along the rivers, dense forests offer sanctuary. Here the air is cool and damp, and the banks are alive with the quiet movements of animals seeking water and shade. During the dry season, these riverine corridors become lifelines. Elephants, wildebeest, and countless others journey for miles, drawn by the promise of water, their paths etching ancient trails into the earth. It is this intricate mosaic, grassland, woodland, river, and sky, that allows such a remarkable diversity of life to flourish. Each species, from the smallest insect to the mightiest elephant, is bound to the others in a web of interdependence. Skip this shot and narration to avoid human presence, yet the balance is delicate. The patterns of rain and drought, the ebb and flow of life, are ever-changing, testing the resilience of every creature and every plant. Skip this shot and narration to avoid human presence. Skip this shot and narration to avoid human presence. As the sun sets, the plains glow with golden light. Shadows lengthen, and the animals move in a timeless procession, each step echoing the footsteps of ancestors long past. Here, the enduring tapestry of life is revealed in every moment, a drama of survival, conflict, and coexistence, where every creature, every blade of grass, and every drop of water is part of a story that has unfolded for millennia and will continue as long as the savannah endures. There is no event that defines the pulse of the Serengeti quite like the Great Migration, but at the heart of this spectacle, winding through the plains like a shimmering artery, lies the river, a lifeline that shapes the destiny of all who dwell here. The river is more than a boundary or an obstacle. It is the very essence of survival. Its waters, swollen and swift during the rains, dwindle to gentle trickles in the dry season, dictating the rhythm of life for countless creatures. Each year, over 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebras and smaller groups of gazelles, are drawn to the river's promise. They follow ancient instincts, their hooves carving paths toward the water's edge, where the scent of moisture hangs heavy in the air. From high above, the river appears as a dark ribbon, its banks teeming with life. Herds gather in anticipation, their numbers so vast they seem to merge with the land itself, a living current flowing toward the water. The river's seasonal changes are dramatic. With the arrival of the rains, it bursts its banks, flooding the plains and transforming the landscape into a patchwork of lush green and glistening pools. In the dry months, its course narrows, exposing sandbanks and rocky shallows, concentrating life along its shrinking margins. In the southern reaches, where volcanic soils nurture tender grasses, the river's flood waters create a nursery for newborn wildebeest. Here, mothers and calves graze in safety, the air alive with the calls of birds and the rustle of small mammals in the undergrowth. As the sun climbs higher and the grasses wither, the river's embrace tightens. The herds sense the change, their bodies restless, compelled to move in search of water and sustenance. Drawn by distant thunder and the scent of rain, they follow the river's winding course, seeking the promise of renewal in the north and west. The journey is grueling. Faces etched with determination, the animals press on, their bodies tested by thirst, fatigue, and the ever-present threat of predators. The river's banks are steep and treacherous, its waters swift and unpredictable. Each crossing is a gamble, a test of strength and resolve. The herds stretch for miles, a living chain that links the distant corners of the ecosystem, their passage marked by clouds of dust and the thunder of hooves. Along the river's edge, lion prides lie in wait, their golden eyes fixed on the moving feast. They are the apex hunters, masters of ambush, their presence a constant shadow over the migration. Hyenas, ever opportunistic, trail the herds, their laughter echoing across the plains as they scavenge and hunt, weaving themselves into the intricate web of life that the river sustains. At the Mara River, tension mounts. Herds gather in dense clusters, their bodies pressed together, nostrils flaring as they sense the dangers lurking beneath the surface. Suddenly the spell breaks. One animal leaps, and the rest follow in a frenzied surge, the river exploding with life and chaos as bodies plunge into the churning water. Beneath the surface, ancient Nile crocodiles lie in wait. Their armored bodies barely ripple the water, but their presence is felt in every nervous glance and every hesitant step. The river's currents are merciless, sweeping away the weak and the unlucky, claiming lives in a silent, swirling embrace. Crocodiles strike with lightning speed, their jaws closing on prey in a primal contest that has played out for millennia. In the crush of bodies, some are trampled, others swept away, the river claiming its toll in the endless cycle of life and death. Yet for those who survive, the far bank offers hope. Shaking water from their coats, the herds regroup and press onward, driven by the unbreakable will to live. The river's influence extends far beyond its banks. It nourishes groves of acacia and fig, supports flocks of storks and kingfishers, and provides refuge for hippos, terrapins, and countless fish that dart through its depths. The herds grazing shapes the grasslands, their hooves aerating the soil, their dung fertilizing the earth, sparking new growth that feeds insects, rodents and birds in a cascade of abundance. Dung beetles roll their treasures away, enriching the soil and feeding a host of creatures from tiny ants to burrowing mammals, each playing a role in the intricate food web spun around the river. For predators, the migration is a time of bounty. Lions, hyenas, leopards, and crocodiles all depend on the river's congregation of life, their fates entwined with the ebb and flow of water and prey. The river is the heart of the Serengeti, a living thread that binds together predator and prey, grass and grazer, bird and beast. Its seasonal pulse sustains a world of astonishing diversity, weaving together the destinies of all who depend on its waters in a never-ending, magnificent cycle of life. Across the endless golden plains and scattered woodlands of the Serengeti, a silent force moves with purpose and grace. The African elephant, the largest land animal on Earth. Their presence is not merely a spectacle of size, but a living testament to the intricate balance of the savanna. Towering above the grasslands, these gentle giants can weigh up to 13,440 pounds and stand over 18 feet tall at the shoulder. Yet their true power lies not just in their size, but in their profound intelligence and the subtle ways they shape the world around them. Every movement of an elephant leaves a mark on the land. As they graze, uproot trees, and carve new paths through dense thickets, they transform the savanna, opening up clearings for grasses to flourish and creating corridors for smaller creatures to travel. Within the folds of their massive heads lies a brain weighing up to 11 pounds, a marvel of nature. This organ is the seat of memory and emotion, allowing elephants to recall distant waterholes, recognize old friends, and mourn the loss of kin. The matriarch, wise and experienced, leads her family across the parched earth, guided by memories passed down through generations. In the dry season, when the land is unforgiving, her knowledge of hidden water sources becomes the difference between life and death, not just for her herd, but for countless other animals who follow in their footsteps. The elephant's body is a masterpiece of adaptation. Its thick, wrinkled skin shields it from the sun and thorns, while its trunk and ears are tools of survival, honed by millennia of evolution. Their vast ears, shaped like the continent they roam, are more than just a means to hear the distant rumble of thunder or the call of a calf. With each deliberate flap, blood cools as it courses through a network of veins, allowing the elephant to endure the relentless heat. The tusks, gleaming and formidable, are not only weapons and tools, but also keys to the savanna's hidden resources. With them, elephants dig for water, strip bark from trees, and clear ancient trails that become lifelines for other animals. These mighty tusks serve many purposes: unearthing water and minerals from the parched earth, defending against prowling predators, and forging new paths through tangled undergrowth, opening the way for antelope, zebra, and even the smallest rodents. Despite their size, elephants move with a quiet dignity. Their broad, cushioned feet distribute their weight, allowing them to glide almost silently across the savanna, leaving only the faintest imprint in the dust. The trunk, a marvel of nature, is perhaps the most versatile appendage in the animal kingdom. It is a bridge between the elephant and its world, capable of both immense strength and delicate precision. Composed of over 40,000 muscles, the trunk can uproot a sapling or pluck a single blade of grass. It is a tool for feeding, a vessel for drinking, and a means of communication, each movement a language understood by the herd. With this extraordinary appendage, an elephant can lift over 770 pounds, yet also pluck a berry without disturbing the leaves. The trunk is used for breathing, smelling the distant rain, drinking from hidden pools, and communicating from a gentle touch of reassurance to a thunderous trumpet that echoes across the plains. This remarkable tool allows elephants to access a banquet of vegetation, from the tender shoots at their feet to the highest branches, ensuring that no part of the savanna is left untouched by their influence. As they travel, elephants carve new trails through the grasslands, their movement shaping the very geography of the savanna. These paths become highways for other animals, guiding herds of wildebeest, impala, and even the elusive leopard through the wilderness. During the harshest months, when rivers vanish and the earth cracks with thirst, elephants become the savanna's lifeline. With tusks and feet, they dig deep into dry riverbeds, coaxing water from the ground. These newly formed waterholes become oases, drawing a congregation of life. At these precious wells, a silent truce unfolds. Birds flutter in for a drink, warthogs wallow in the mud, lions and zebras gather side by side, each species bound by the gift of water, unearthed by the elephant's labor. As they roam, elephants feast on fruits and foliage, their journeys scattering seeds far and wide. In their dung, these seeds find fertile ground, sprouting new life and ensuring the renewal of the savanna's forests and grasslands. The social bonds of elephants are as strong as their physical might. Led by the matriarch, the herd moves as one, protecting the young, guiding the lost, and standing firm against danger. When predators threaten, the adults form a living fortress, encircling their calves in a wall of unyielding resolve. In every action, from the smallest gesture to the grandest migration, elephants shape the destiny of the savanna. They are its architects, its guardians, and its silent storytellers, woven into the fabric of life, their legacy written in every tree, every trail, and every drop of water that sustains the wild heart of Africa. Rising above the golden savanna, the giraffe surveys its world from a height few creatures can imagine. With its head brushing the clouds and its legs striding effortlessly through the tall grasses, the giraffe is a living tower, an ever-watchful sentinel among the acacia trees. As the undisputed watchtower of the plains, the giraffe's presence is both commanding and serene. Its gaze sweeps the horizon, alert to the faintest movement, a silent guardian for all who share its home. Towering nearly 20 feet, an adult male giraffe dwarfs even the tallest trees, its silhouette a familiar landmark against the endless sky. This extraordinary height grants the giraffe a vantage point unlike any other, allowing it to witness the unfolding drama of the savanna from above. With eyes positioned high and wide, the giraffe enjoys a panoramic 360-degree view, missing nothing that stirs in the grass or rustles in the trees. This keen vision, paired with their elevated perspective, forms a living alarm system, alerting not only their own kind but also zebras, antelopes, and countless others to approaching danger. From afar, a pride of lions may stalk the grass, but the giraffe's vigilant eyes often spot them long before they can draw near. A subtle shift in posture, a sudden stillness, and the entire savanna seems to listen, heeding the silent warning of the gentle giant. The giraffe's neck, a marvel of nature, stretches skyward, accounting for half its impressive height. Within this elegant column are just 7 vertebrae, each one elongated and robust, supporting the weight of a head that must reach the highest leaves. Remarkably, this is the same number of neck bones found in a human, though each giraffe vertebra is a masterpiece of adaptation. Stretched and strengthened, these bones allow the giraffe to reach nourishment where few others can. The giraffe's diet is a feast of leaves, flowers, and fruits, plucked delicately from the treetops. It selects only the choicest morsels, often favoring the tender shoots and sweet blossoms that others cannot reach. Among its favorites is the thorny acacia, a tree that would deter most grazers with its formidable defenses. Yet the giraffe, undaunted, has evolved to dine where others dare not. Its mouth is a marvel of adaptation, with thick lips and a nimble tongue that navigates the thorns with astonishing precision. The tongue itself is a wonder, long, muscular, and prehensile, able to wrap around branches and strip leaves with ease. Measuring up to 18 inches, it is both a tool and a shield, grasping food while avoiding the sharpest spines. With deft movements, the giraffe extracts leaves from the heart of the thorniest branches, undeterred by the plant's defenses. Its tongue, dark and bluish-black, is thought to be nature's sunscreen, protecting it from the relentless African sun as it feeds for hours each day. Thick, sticky saliva coats every mouthful, allowing the giraffe to swallow even the sharpest thorns without harm. This remarkable adaptation ensures that no part of its chosen meal is wasted and no injury is suffered. In this way, the giraffe transforms a challenging food source into a daily banquet, shaping the very landscape it inhabits. Despite their tranquil appearance, giraffes are far from defenseless. Their calm demeanor belies a strength and agility that few predators dare to test. When danger draws near, the giraffe stands tall and alert, ready to defend itself and its companions. In a burst of speed, it can gallop across the plains at up to 37 miles per hour, its long legs covering ground in great sweeping strides. But its most formidable weapon is its kick, a force so powerful it can shatter bone and deter even the boldest attacker. A single, well-placed blow from those heavy legs can be fatal, a reminder that gentleness and strength often walk hand in hand. Even lions, the kings of the savannah, approach with caution, knowing the risk of a giraffe's wrath. As a result, adult giraffes are rarely targeted, their size and strength earning them respect among the predators of the plains. Yet even giants have their moments of vulnerability. To drink, the giraffe must awkwardly splay its legs and lower its neck, exposing itself to danger. Every sip is taken with caution, eyes scanning for threats, muscles tensed for a rapid escape. In this vulnerable pose, the giraffe is a study in both grace and risk, balancing the need for water with the ever-present threat of attack. Only when the coast is clear does it drink deeply, ever watchful, ever aware. Giraffes share their world with a host of other gentle giants, most notably the elephant. Together they form a living tapestry of life on the savannah. Their feeding habits are perfectly balanced. Elephants graze on the grasses and lower branches, while giraffes browse the treetops, each leaving space for the other. This harmony ensures that both species flourish, their coexistence shaping the very structure of the ecosystem. As giraffes feed high above, they open up the canopy, allowing sunlight to reach the ground and new plants to grow, nurturing a cycle of life that benefits all. In this way, the gentle giants are not just inhabitants, but architects of their world, shaping the savannah for generations to come. Social by nature, giraffes form loose, ever-changing herds, their bonds fluid and dynamic. Individuals drift between groups, mingling freely, their interactions gentle and unhurried beneath the open sky. Females often gather in small groups, their calves nestled safely among them, watched over by many vigilant eyes. The youngest giraffes, fragile and unsteady, rely on the protection of the herd, learning the ways of the savannah under the watchful gaze of their elders. In this world of giants, survival is a shared endeavor, and the gentle vigilance of the herd ensures that the next generation will one day stand tall above the plains, guardians of the endless horizon. Deep within the winding rivers and shimmering waterholes of the African savannah, a true giant rules with an iron will and unmatched strength, the hippopotamus, the unchallenged river king. Its presence alone sends ripples of caution through the water, a silent warning to all who dare approach. Though a grazer by nature, the hippo is a paradox, an herbivore with the heart and ferocity of a predator. Its reputation as one of Africa's most dangerous animals is well earned, for few creatures risk challenging its authority. The hippo's greatest weapon is its colossal mouth, capable of opening to a staggering 150 degrees. Within, a crushing bite force of over 8,000 pounds per square inch lies in wait, enough to shatter bone and cleave through the toughest hide. Its tusks, long and razor-sharp, can grow beyond 19 inches, transforming the mouth into a living arsenal. These are not tools for feeding, but for battle. lethal implements in the hippo's arsenal, wielded with terrifying precision. When rivals encroach or predators threaten, the River King erupts in a display of raw power. Jaws clash, water churns, and the victor emerges, dominance reaffirmed. Even the most formidable predators, lions and crocodiles, think twice before testing the hippo's wrath. Yet, beneath this ferocity lies a master of adaptation. Hippos spend up to 16 hours a day submerged, their massive forms hidden beneath the surface, skin shielded from the relentless sun by the cool embrace of water. Unlike most aquatic giants, the hippo does not swim. Instead, it strides along the riverbed, its dense, barrel-shaped body perfectly balanced for life between two worlds, land and water. Its eyes, ears, and nostrils are perched high atop its head, a design born of necessity. With only the smallest part of its body exposed, the hippo can see, hear, and breathe while remaining nearly invisible to both prey and rival. This stealthy vantage point allows the River King to monitor its domain, ever watchful, ever ready to defend its territory or its kin. The hippo's skin exudes a unique crimson secretion, a natural sunscreen and shield against infection. This adaptation is vital, for the sun's rays are merciless, and the river teems with unseen dangers. As dusk descends, the River King's role shifts. No longer a silent sentinel, it becomes a wanderer of the night, leaving the safety of water to roam the savannah in search of sustenance. Under the cover of darkness, hippos travel miles from the riverbank, guided by memory and instinct, seeking out the tender grasses that fuel their immense bodies. Each night, an adult hippo consumes up to 88 pounds of grass, its wide mouth sweeping across the plains in a relentless quest for food. Their slow metabolism, a gift in times of scarcity, allows them to endure the harshest dry seasons, surviving on dwindling resources when others falter. The nightly journeys of the River King carve deep trails through the bush, hippo highways that shape the landscape, guiding the movements of countless other animals and subtly sculpting the ecosystem. Hippos are not solitary rulers. They gather in pods, sometimes numbering in the dozens, their social bonds forged in the crucible of river life. These gatherings are more than mere congregation. They are the heartbeat of the river, a living force that maintains balance and order. At the center of each pod stands a dominant male, the undisputed lord of his stretch of river. He defends his territory with unwavering resolve, ensuring the safety of his pod and the continuation of his lineage. New life begins in the water, where mothers fiercely guard their calves. The pod unites in defense, forming an impenetrable wall against lurking threats, their collective strength a testament to the power of unity. While few dare challenge a healthy adult, the vulnerable young and the weak draw the attention of the savannah's most cunning hunters. Lion prides and Nile crocodiles lie in wait, testing the boundaries of the River King's reign. Yet it is the hippo's dominance, its relentless defense, and its shaping of the land and water that maintain the delicate balance of this wild domain. The River King is not just a ruler, but a guardian, its power and presence echoing through every ripple, every blade of grass, and every life that calls the river home. As dawn breaks over the endless Serengeti, a hush falls across the golden grasslands. Here, every shadow and whisper signals the beginning of a relentless contest, a high-stakes game of survival where predator and prey are bound together in a perpetual suspenseful dance. The antelope grazes, every muscle taut, ears flicking at the faintest sound. In the distance, a cheetah coils low, its body a blur of tension and anticipation. This is not merely a chase, but a test of evolution. Speed, agility, and awareness honed over millennia. The lioness, eyes narrowed, studies the zebra herd. Each zebra senses the weight of unseen eyes, their movements cautious, every step calculated. The air is thick with tension, for a single misstep could turn the watcher into the hunted. In the tall grass, a pride of lions moves as one, silent, patient, communicating with subtle glances and flicks of their tails. They strategize, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, knowing that unity is their greatest weapon against the vast herds. As dusk falls, the pride encircles a buffalo, their movements a masterclass in coordination. Each lion knows its role, weaving a net of muscle and intent. The buffalo, massive and defiant, stands its ground, the outcome uncertain until the very last heartbeat. But when the giants appear, even the bravest predators hesitate. A herd of elephants looms, their presence a living wall of power and memory. The lions crouch low, calculating risk, for here a single mistake could be fatal. The elephants close ranks, their trunks raised, ears flared wide. The ground trembles as they advance, a warning that echoes through the savannah. The lions, momentarily emboldened, test the herd's resolve, but the tension is palpable. One wrong move could unleash chaos. The predators circle, eyes fixed on the youngest, the smallest, searching for a moment of weakness. The lionesses, masters of patience, wait for the herd to falter, for a calf to stray just a step too far from safety. But the elephants respond with unwavering unity. Adults form a living barricade, their bodies shielding the calves, their eyes burning with determination. The message is clear: no intruder will pass without consequence. Trumpeting fills the air, a thunderous warning. The herd forms a ring, calves pressed safely at the center, adults facing outward, ready to defend with every ounce of their strength. The lions, faced with this wall of resolve and raw power, retreat. The threat of trampling feet and ivory tusks is too great, and the pride melts back into the grass, the hunt abandoned, the tension lingering in the air. Sometimes the cost of miscalculation is steep, a limping lion, wounded and weary, a stark reminder that in this world, every decision carries weight. The giraffe, towering above the plains, relies on vigilance. Its eyes and ears sweep the horizon, every sense attuned to the faintest hint of danger. From its lofty vantage, the giraffe sees what others cannot. Its panoramic vision is a shield, granting precious seconds to react, to warn the herd, to survive. When a lion pride stalks, the giraffe's unwavering stare signals discovery. The predators freeze, their advantage lost, the element of surprise slipping away. Frustration ripples through the pride. Without surprise, the hunt is doomed. The lions slink away, the tension unresolved, the savannah holding its breath for the next encounter. The giraffe herd moves with calm assurance, conserving energy, their escape measured and deliberate. In this world, panic is a luxury few can afford. Their passive defense, awareness, vigilance, and communication proves as effective as horns or claws, a testament to the power of adaptation. Along the riverbanks, a different kind of tension simmers. The hippopotamus, massive and unpredictable, emerges from the water, its presence a silent warning to all. On land or in water, the hippo is a force few dare to challenge. Its jaws gape wide, a display of power that can shatter bone and end any threat in an instant. Aggression simmers beneath the surface. The hippo's bite is legendary, its temper explosive. Even the boldest predators think twice before approaching, yet the vulnerable are never far from danger. Lions and crocodiles lurk, eyes fixed on the smallest calves, waiting for a moment of separation, a lapse in vigilance. But a mother hippo's fury is unmatched. She charges with unstoppable force, her devotion transforming her into a living shield, driving predators back into the shadows. Across the plains and rivers, every day is a tapestry of suspense and strategy. The struggle for survival is unending, each moment charged with possibility and peril. Here the wild is a world of constant tension, where every heartbeat could tip the balance between life and death. Far across the Atlantic Ocean, where the land breathes beneath a living sea of green, lies the Amazon rainforest, a realm of endless mystery and vibrant life, a world utterly unlike the sun-drenched plains of the Serengeti. Here, sunlight filters through a cathedral of towering trees, painting the air with shifting emerald hues. The forest floor is cloaked in perpetual twilight, where roots twist and ancient trunks rise like pillars, supporting a dense, interwoven canopy above. The Amazon is the largest tropical rainforest on Earth, stretching across 9 countries and forming a vast, breathing basin that teems with life in every shadow and sunbeam. Within this living labyrinth, an astonishing 10% of all known species on our planet find sanctuary, each one a thread in the intricate tapestry of life. The numbers are almost beyond comprehension. 390 billion trees, 80,000 plant species, each vying for sunlight, water, and space in a silent, ceaseless competition. Beneath the surface of winding rivers, 2,200 species of fish dart and glide, some glowing with iridescent colors, others armored and ancient, all perfectly adapted to the ever-changing currents. 427 species of mammals roam the shadows and treetops, from nimble monkeys to elusive anteaters, each carving out a niche in this crowded paradise. In this tangled, primeval world, the jaguar reigns supreme, a solitary phantom, moving with silent power through the undergrowth, its golden coat dappled with the shadows of leaves. The jaguar's jaws are legendary, delivering a bite force of 1,500 psi, strong enough to pierce bone and shell, unmatched among the great cats. Unlike its distant cousins, the jaguar dispatches prey with a single, devastating bite to the skull, a technique honed by millennia of evolution, perfectly suited to the dense, tangled world it rules. With only 15,000 jaguars remaining, each one is a living barometer of the forest's health, a guardian whose fate is entwined with the fate of the entire ecosystem. The jaguar's survival depends on a delicate balance, on the abundance of capybaras grazing by the riverbanks, on the stealthy caimans lurking in the shallows, on the endless cycle of life and death that sustains the forest. Life here is layered, a vertical kingdom where every level teems with unique adaptations and hidden wonders. In the lofty canopy, monkeys leap and birds flit, rarely touching the ground, their lives unfolding in a world of leaves and light. The sloth, a master of patience, moves with dreamlike slowness, its fur hosting entire ecosystems of algae and insects, a living microcosm within the greater forest. Howler monkeys, unseen but never unheard, send their thunderous calls rolling through the mist, marking territory in a world where vision is often lost to the green gloom. Spider monkeys, with tails as agile as any limb, swing effortlessly from branch to branch, their acrobatics a testament to the ingenuity of life in the treetops. This vertical existence is a world apart from the open savanna, a place where survival means mastering the heights and the shadows. The Amazon is more than a sanctuary for life. It is a living engine shaping the climate and breathing for the planet. Its soils and roots lock away over 100 billion tons of carbon, a silent bulwark against the rising tide of global change. Each year, the forest draws in 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide, its endless green expanse quietly regulating the rhythms of the world's climate. The Amazon breathes out oxygen, its influence reaching far beyond its borders, shaping weather and life across continents. In every leaf, every river, every hidden creature, the Amazon holds secrets and wonders still unknown, a living testament to the power and fragility of nature, and a reminder that its fate is inseparable from our own. Imagine standing at the edge of 2 worlds. One, a sun-drenched expanse where golden grass ripples beneath a boundless sky. The other, a living cathedral of green, where sunlight filters through 1,000 layers of leaves, and the air hums with hidden life. The African savanna and the Amazon rainforest are both theatres of nature's grandeur, yet each tells a story written in a different language. The savanna stretches outward, a realm of openness and clarity. Here the horizon is a distant promise, and every creature is exposed to the gaze of the sun and the eyes of both friend and foe. Herds of elephants and giraffes move in slow procession, their silhouettes etched against the sky. Their size and social bonds are their shield, and their lives are measured in migrations and the rhythm of the seasons. On these plains, speed is survival. The cheetah's explosive sprint and the wildebeest's relentless endurance are born of a world where cover is scarce and the chase is often in plain sight. Social structures are forged in the crucible of exposure. Elephants form tight-knit matriarchal herds, while giraffes keep loose company, all eyes scanning for the flicker of a predator on the move. Step into the Amazon, and the world turns inward and upward. Here the forest is a labyrinth of green, where every step is muffled by moss and every view is hemmed by trunks and vines. Life unfolds in layers, the shadowed forest floor, the tangled understory, and the sunlit canopy high above. Each stratum is a world unto itself, teeming with creatures adapted to its unique challenges. Here, animals are smaller, more secretive. A sloth climbs in slow motion, birds flit through the undergrowth, and every movement is a negotiation with the dense, living maze. Instead of vast herds, the rainforest hosts troops of monkeys, their acrobatics a dance among the branches, their calls echoing through the green cathedral. Where the savanna boasts the thunder of hooves, the rainforest whispers with the silent tread of the jaguar, a master of stealth and shadow. Adaptations here are subtle and ingenious, camouflage that turns fur into foliage, and voices that carry through the thickest green like the haunting call of the howler monkey. The jaguar, apex predator of this world, is an artist of ambush, relying on patience and precision rather than speed, perfectly attuned to the tangled undergrowth. The architects of these realms are as different as the worlds they shape. In the savanna, the elephant is a living force of change, while in the rainforest the architects are legion, tiny ants, fungi, and the trees themselves. Elephants dig for water, topple trees, and carve paths that become lifelines for countless species, their actions echoing across the landscape. Their influence creates a patchwork of grassland and woodland, a living mosaic that supports a web of life. In the Amazon, the trees are the pillars of the world, their roots entwined with fungi, their bark alive with insects. Together, they weave a tapestry of interdependence, each life form shaping and sustaining the next. The rainforest's architecture is built from the inside out, its density and diversity creating a fortress of life, where animals adapt to the structure rather than reshape it. Water, too, draws a line between these worlds. In the savanna, it is a fleeting treasure, shaping migrations and the fate of every creature. The Great Migration is a testament to this struggle, as herds thunder across rivers in search of life-giving water, the air thick with dust and anticipation. Every shrinking waterhole becomes a stage for drama, alliances, and conflict, the scarcity of water binding all life in a common quest. In the Amazon, water is everywhere. Rivers wind like silver serpents through the forest, and the air itself is heavy with moisture. Rain falls in torrents, mist rises from the canopy, and the forest floor is often a flooded world, alive with amphibians and fish. Here, life is shaped not by the search for water, but by the challenge of living with its abundance. Creatures leap, swim, and call in a world where water is both home and highway. Manatees drift in slow grace, river dolphins slice through the currents, and fish teem in unimaginable variety, their lives woven into the very fabric of the river. And yet there are echoes between these worlds, creatures that bridge the gap, like birds of prey, soaring above both grassland and jungle, their wings uniting sky and earth. Butterflies, too, paint the air with color in both realms, their delicate forms a reminder that beauty and adaptation know no boundaries. Even the smallest engineers, termites in the savanna, leafcutter ants in the rainforest, build worlds within worlds, shaping the land in ways both subtle and profound. As dawn breaks, both the savanna and the rainforest awaken in chorus, one with the trumpeting of elephants and the thunder of hooves, the other with the symphony of birds and the distant roar of a jaguar. Two worlds, each magnificent, each a testament to the endless creativity of life. The African savanna awakens beneath a golden sunrise, its endless grasslands stretching toward the horizon, a living canvas painted with the movement of wild herds and the silent watch of ancient acacia trees. Far away, the Amazon rainforest breathes beneath a shroud of mist, its emerald canopy sheltering a world of secrets. Though these realms seem worlds apart, they are bound by a single urgent truth. Both are fragile, both are irreplaceable, and both are under threat. For countless generations, these ecosystems have been sanctuaries for life's greatest wonders. They have witnessed the rise and fall of species, the dance of predator and prey, and the quiet resilience of plants and animals adapting to the rhythms of sun and rain. In the Serengeti, elephants roam in matriarchal herds, their memories guiding them across vast distances in search of water. Giraffes move with gentle grace, browsing the treetops, while hippos wallow in cool rivers, shaping the land with every step and every breath. Deep in the Amazon, jaguars slip like shadows through the undergrowth, their presence a silent promise of balance. Monkeys leap from branch to branch, pollinating flowers and dispersing seeds, weaving the forest together with their daily journeys. Each species, from the smallest insect to the mightiest mammal, is a thread in the intricate tapestry of life. Together, they create a symphony of interdependence, where every call, every footprint, and every leaf matters. The survival of these animals is not a distant concern. It is a story that touches every living thing, for the health of these wild places is inseparable from the health of our planet. The responsibility to protect these wonders belongs to all who share this earth, for the fate of the savanna and the rainforest is the fate of us all. The challenges are immense and ever-growing. The relentless march of agriculture and settlement carves away at wild spaces, fragmenting habitats and isolating species that once roamed free. Every shrinking patch of forest, every vanishing stretch of savanna is a loss not just for wildlife, but for the world's living heritage. The climate itself is changing, bringing unpredictable rains and searing droughts to the savanna, and raising the heat in the rainforest, testing the resilience of every living thing. Rivers run dry, watering holes vanish, and the ancient cycles that have shaped these worlds begin to falter. Poaching and illegal trade cast a shadow over the land, stealing away the icons of the wild, each tusk, each pelt, a story cut short. Elephants, once rulers of the plains, are hunted for their ivory, while jaguars, the silent guardians of the forest, are pursued for their beautiful skins. Many species now stand at the edge of extinction, their calls fading into silence, their habitats emptying of life. The ancient trails grow cold, and the delicate web of life, woven over millions of years, begins to unravel. But conservation is more than a fight against loss. It is a celebration of life's resilience and creativity. Every species is a solution, a survivor, a testament to the power of adaptation. The biodiversity of these places is a living library, holding answers to questions we have yet to ask. Within the genes of plants and animals lie medicines, technologies, and wisdom that could shape the future of all life on Earth. The rivers and trees, the grasslands and forests provide clean water, fresh air, and a stable climate, services that sustain every living being. The Amazon's vast green heart stores carbon, slowing the pace of climate change, while the Serengeti's herds maintain the balance of grass and soil, shaping the land for generations to come. To protect a rainforest is to steady the climate of the world. To safeguard a savanna is to preserve a masterpiece of natural engineering. These are not just landscapes, they are living, breathing systems, each a miracle of evolution and time. To witness a sunset over the wild savanna, or to hear the rainfall in the heart of the Amazon is to glimpse the world as it was meant to be, whole, wild, and free. The challenges facing these places are not isolated. They are global, and their solutions must be as vast and interconnected as the ecosystems themselves. The future of the world's wild wonders depends on the choices made today, on the courage to act, and the vision to see beyond our own lifetimes. Conservation is a journey, a promise to the future, written in every protected forest, every thriving herd, every river that runs clear. It is a story told in the language of cooperation, of nations and communities working together to defend the wild. It is the work of those who dedicate their lives to restoring balance, to healing what has been broken, to giving nature a chance to recover. And it is the sum of countless small choices made every day to live in harmony with the world that sustains us. Conservation is vigilance, guarding against poaching, nurturing the land, and finding new ways to coexist with the wild. It is empowerment, giving every community the tools to protect their natural heritage, to become guardians of the wild places they call home. By learning the stories of these lands, by understanding the roles of every creature, we can kindle a passion for protection that endures. Imagine a world where every child can watch a giraffe stride across the horizon, where the call of a monkey echoes through the trees, where the wild remains wild. These moments are gifts, reminders of what is possible when we choose to protect, to restore, and to cherish. This planet is a shared inheritance, a home for all life, and its future is written by the choices we make today. Let us rise to the challenge and become the stewards these wild wonders deserve, for in protecting them we protect the very heart of our world. As the sun dips below the horizon and the savannah is cloaked in darkness, a new chapter of life begins. The air cools, the golden grasses shimmer beneath the moonlight, and the world transforms into a realm ruled by shadows. This is the domain of the nocturnal predators, masters of the night, each uniquely adapted to thrive in the darkness. In the hush of twilight, the silent paws of the African leopard glide through the undergrowth. Its rosette-spotted coat blends seamlessly with the dappled patterns of moon and foliage, rendering it nearly invisible. With eyesight 6 times more sensitive than that of daylight hunters, the leopard becomes a phantom, stalking prey with patience and precision. Every step is measured, every movement calculated until it strikes with explosive speed, often dragging its prize high into the trees, safe from rivals. Nearby, the hyena clan awakens, their haunting calls echoing across the plains. Often misunderstood, these formidable hunters are guided by acute hearing and a powerful sense of smell. Working together, they track the faintest scents and sounds, using teamwork to outmaneuver even the swiftest antelope. Their strong jaws can crush bone, ensuring nothing of their catch goes to waste, a vital role in the nighttime ecosystem. The savanna's smaller predators also emerge under the veil of night. The serval, with its oversized ears, listens for the slightest rustle of rodents hidden in the grass. With a sudden leap, often 2 meters high, it pounces, relying on agility and stealth. Meanwhile, the bat-eared fox prowls the darkness, its sensitive ears twitching at the buzz of insects and the scurry of beetles, helping to keep the balance of life after dark. Above, the silent flight of the owl signals another kind of hunter. With wings designed for noiseless movement and eyes that pierce the gloom, it swoops down on unsuspecting prey. Each species, from the smallest genet to the mighty lion, has carved a niche in this nocturnal world, relying on senses honed by evolution to survive where sight alone is not enough. The nighttime savannah is alive with tension and anticipation, a hidden network of life where every movement matters. Here the drama of predator and prey unfolds beneath the stars, shaping the balance of the ecosystem in ways unseen by the light of day. In this world of shadows, survival belongs to those who master the art of the night. Beneath the reflective surface of Africa's winding rivers, another world teems with life and with danger. Here in the cool, shadowy depths, hidden aquatic predators reign supreme, their presence felt more than seen. Camouflage is their greatest ally. The Nile crocodile, with its ridged, mud-colored skin, drifts just below the waterline, almost indistinguishable from floating logs. Only its eyes and nostrils breach the surface, watching, waiting. With patience that can outlast the sun's journey across the sky, it remains motionless until the perfect moment. Then, in a flash of raw power, it surges forward, jaws snapping shut around unsuspecting prey that dares to drink or cross its domain. Elsewhere, schools of African tigerfish patrol the currents. Their silver bodies shimmer in shafts of sunlight, but their true weapon lies in speed and razor-sharp teeth. With lightning-fast reflexes, they ambush smaller fish, insects, and even birds that skim too close to the water. Each strike is a testament to the river's ceaseless struggle for survival. Hidden among submerged roots and tangled reeds, the African lungfish waits. Its mottled coloring blends seamlessly with the muddy bottom, allowing it to strike at passing prey with a sudden gulp. Even the tiniest aquatic hunters, like the stealthy freshwater crabs and ambush frogs, play a vital role, emerging from the shadows to snatch insects and unsuspecting fish fry. These predators do not hunt alone. Their presence shapes the river's entire web of life. Fish scatter in synchronized bursts, hippos and antelope tread carefully at the banks, and birds wheel overhead, ever alert for the dangers lurking below. The river's edge becomes a theater of tension and quick decisions, where survival depends on keen senses and flawless timing. In these flowing corridors, the aquatic hunters are as silent as they are deadly. Masters of camouflage and ambush, they remind us that even in the heart of the water, the wild is never truly at rest. Beneath the towering grasses of the savanna and the dense canopy of the rainforest, a hidden multitude thrives. Insects, nature's architects and alchemists, form the foundation of these vibrant ecosystems. Their world is one of relentless motion, silent construction, and intricate survival. In the savanna, armies of termites build towering mounds from earth and saliva. These structures, visible above the plains, are more than homes. They are climate-controlled fortresses, regulating temperature and moisture for millions of residents. Termites break down tough plant material, recycling nutrients and enriching the soil. Their mounds become oases, supporting grasses, shrubs, and even providing shelter for reptiles and small mammals. Nearby, dung beetles roll their prized orbs across the ground. With impressive strength, they bury animal waste, aerating the soil and returning vital nutrients to the earth. This unending cycle fertilizes the grasslands, ensuring fresh pastures for grazing herds. In the rainforest, leafcutter ants march in endless columns, each carrying a fragment of green. Deep underground, they cultivate vast fungal gardens, transforming leaves into food. Their tunnels aerate the soil, and their relentless harvesting shapes the very structure of the forest. High above, butterflies and bees drift from blossom to blossom, pollinating a riot of flowers. Their delicate work ensures the next generation of fruit and seeds, sustaining countless animals who depend on these resources. Yet insects are not only builders, they are survivors. Praying mantises blend into leaves, waiting motionless for prey. Stick insects vanish against twigs, invisible to predators. Brightly colored beetles warn of toxins, while moths mimic bark and lichen. Every adaptation is a story of persistence and ingenuity. For larger animals, insects are both a feast and a force to be reckoned with. Swarms of locusts can strip fields bare in hours, while driver ants force even the mightiest mammals to retreat. Birds, reptiles, and mammals rely on the bounty of insect life, hunting beetles, grubs, and larvae to sustain themselves. From the smallest ant to the most flamboyant butterfly, insects are the pulse of the savanna and rainforest. Their quiet industry and astonishing variety weave the fabric of life, unseen yet indispensable, supporting giants and shaping worlds from the shadows below. High atop the food chain, apex predators reign as the silent regulators of the wild. Whether it's the stealthy leopard stalking the savanna's tall grass or the jaguar slipping through the shadows of the rainforest, these formidable hunters shape the fate of entire ecosystems with every move. Their presence sends ripples through the web of life. Prey animals, ever alert, alter their grazing patterns and routes, preventing overbrowsing and allowing vegetation to recover. This vigilance creates a mosaic of habitats, patches of lush growth and open space, nurturing a greater diversity of plants and the creatures that depend on them. When apex predators thrive, their influence cascades downward. Herds of antelope, deer, and monkeys remain agile and healthy, as predators often target the weak, sick, or old. This natural selection strengthens prey populations, ensuring only the fittest survive. In their absence, prey numbers can soar unchecked, leading to overgrazed landscapes, eroded riverbanks, and dwindling resources for all. Even the remains of a predator's meal nourish the land. Scavengers flock to the scene, vultures, hyenas, and beetles, each playing a role in recycling nutrients back to the earth. Nothing is wasted. Every life lost sustains countless others. Apex predators also keep rival carnivores in check, maintaining balance between competing hunters and preventing any one species from dominating. This delicate equilibrium supports a thriving tapestry of life, from the smallest insect to the tallest tree. In the grand theatre of nature, apex predators are not just hunters. They are stewards of stability, architects of diversity, and guardians of the wild's enduring harmony. Across the vast expanses of savanna and rainforest, a timeless drama unfolds, one written in the dust of endless trails and the swirling currents of mighty rivers. This is the season of migration, when millions of animals embark on perilous journeys in search of fresh grazing, water, and the promise of new life. Herds of wildebeest thunder across the plains, zebras and antelope at their side, their hooves pounding a relentless rhythm that echoes through the land. But the path is fraught with danger. As the great herds surge forward, they draw the watchful gaze of predators. Lions lie in wait near riverbanks, their golden eyes fixed on the weakest stragglers. Crocodiles lurk beneath muddy waters, ready to explode into action as the first hooves splash across the shallows. The air is thick with tension. Every crossing, every pause to drink, becomes a test of survival. Yet this struggle is not one-sided. The migration offers a fleeting bounty for hunters who depend on these seasonal feasts to sustain their own young. The predator's success ensures that only the strongest and most agile prey survive to continue the journey, shaping the next generation of the herd. Each encounter, each narrow escape weaves predator and prey ever tighter into the fabric of the wild. For every animal, the migration is a trial of endurance. Torrential rains can turn grasslands into treacherous mud, while parched earth leaves some desperate for water. The youngest and oldest may falter, but their sacrifice nourishes countless others, scavengers, insects, and even the soil itself. Through hardship and hope, the cycle endures, binding all creatures to the pulse of nature's seasons. The Great Migration is more than a spectacle. It is a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the interconnected destinies of predator and prey. Beneath the surface of the struggle for survival, another story unfolds, a tale of unlikely partnerships and intricate bonds. In the wild, life is not only defined by competition, but also by collaboration. These symbiotic relationships, mutualism, commensalism, and even parasitism, form the unseen threads that strengthen the fabric of both savanna and rainforest. High in the rainforest canopy, a tiny hummingbird hovers beside a brilliant flower. As it sips nectar, grains of pollen cling to its feathers, carried to the next blossom. The bird is nourished, and the plant's lineage continues, a perfect example of mutualism where both partners thrive. On the savanna, beneath the shade of an acacia tree, herds of impala graze peacefully. Small, alert oxpeckers perch atop their backs, plucking ticks and parasites from their fur. The birds feast, while the impala gain relief from pests, a win-win alliance that keeps both species healthy, but not all relationships are so balanced. Deep within the rainforest, the strangler fig begins its life atop a host tree, sending roots downward to the forest floor. Over time, it envelops its host, competing for sunlight and nutrients in a slow, relentless embrace. This is parasitism. One thrives, while the other is diminished. Elsewhere, in the tangled undergrowth, army ants march in endless columns. As they pass, small birds and mammals follow, snapping up insects flushed from hiding, a case of commensalism. The followers benefit from the ants' activity, while the ants remain unaffected. From the cleaning stations of riverside fish, where tiny shrimp groom larger fish in exchange for scraps, to the fungi that help rainforest trees absorb nutrients from the soil, these partnerships shape the world in subtle, powerful ways. Each relationship, whether harmonious or one-sided, reminds us that survival in the wild is rarely solitary. Through cooperation, dependence, and even exploitation, life weaves its most enduring tapestry, a network of connections as complex and beautiful as the ecosystems themselves.